Django, and we are back again with another episode of the Devil's Advocates. And hello, people, how y'all doing? This is your boy Django. I want to thank everybody for joining us in on a Friday, and I want to thank you. It is a muggy type of Friday, but we're gonna go ahead and do what it do. We're gonna do what it do. And I want to thank who just said now. Listen, your boy Django is out here. I'm in Burnt Scrotum, Arkansas. Okay, I'm out here in Burnt Scrotum, Arkansas, and I am stuck. So I am not in studio today. So my man Head Sam is holding it down for me. I want to thank him for coming in today. Hopefully, Boris Joe Chestnut might be up in
See,
there
I'm
sometime.
already here.
Yeah. And of course, I want to thank you. There goes my man sitting over there. I guess he's sitting over there. He ain't got any, he got sweat on his head. That's my man over there, Mr. Head Sanford. How you doing there, bro?
What's up? What's up?
Okay. And over there, she now we didn't really ninja rig this show. So we got what's her name? Miss Woke. She's over here on the telephone line because she's in an undisclosed location like BB316. We got her there on the telephone line. How you doing, Miss Woke? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Woke.
All right. All right. And I want to thank you. You Miss Walker. Miss Woke. She woke.
I'm Miss Woke.
You know. So we want everybody to understand now. Now, rain nor sleet nor bald-headed goat will keep this show from going. Django had to be on things, so I trust my crew. So we get ready to get into it today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And here we go. Today's topic is actually one that we kind of argued about back and forth in the room a couple of weeks ago. We just wanted to bring it up to fruition. And this one is about alpha and beta males. Alpha and beta males. And alpha and beta females while we at it. And
Right.
what we wanted to talk about today is do alphas and betas go together? Can you have a relationship that works with an alpha male and a beta female? Or can you have a relationship with two alphas or a relationship with two betas? Does that work out, and how does that work out? So we want to go and start it off. Head Seven, do you want to go ahead and pop it off from us?
No, I let Mia do that because it was her
Oh,
topic.
you want to let Mia do it?
Yeah.
Mia, you in the hot seat, boo. You want to go ahead and throw that out there?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Jumping into it. So I think the first thing that I'd like to make clear, you can't get an alpha female confused. I think at times people try to say that the alpha female is like a B word or an angry black woman or something like that. That's not what an alpha female is. You can be an alpha female, and I do consider myself to be an alpha female, and be in a relationship with either an alpha male or a beta male. My preference is to be with an alpha male because I like somebody who can snap me into shape. I fall in line because it doesn't mean that if you're in a relationship that you set your crown aside. It just means that you allow a man to lead when he's supposed to lead. However, a lot of men don't know or have the fortitude to deal with a personality like mine, and so they should not try to deal with a personality like mine. So that's my position.
Ain't that interesting? So let me ask you a question, because I hear so many women use this as some sort of excuse, and I don't really look at it as a good excuse. I mean, women say, well, I don't mind letting the man lead as long as he's a man that's worthy to lead by. I mean, does that argument fly?
I absolutely believe that argument flies. I mean, you can't follow somebody off a cliff. You got to use your mind, your brain. What are they leading you to?
The bankruptcy.
It might look like a cliff. It might not really be a cliff. Have some faith.
Oh, wait a minute. That's Cut Joe Chestnut in there. How you doing there, boy?
I said I was here from the beginning. You just ignored me, though. That's okay.
Well, it just depends on what your alcohol consumption level is in on any given week. Okay, well, I'm glad you there. I couldn't hear your voice at first, but I can make it out.
Yes,
then you can tell the alcohol level in it. So, well, welcome there. Go ahead, Cut Joe, and then pass that on over there to Head Sam and see what he got to say.
Because if it looks like I'm leading you off a cliff, I might be, but I might have a parachute on. I may have a plan. You know, sometimes you got to take a risk in life, and if you're really supposed to be following me, you're really supposed to be my other other half. Then hey, jump on off that cliff with me and just trust that I got you. Because if you're with a man that you're not sure about trusting like that, then you shouldn't be with him anyway. That's how I feel.
I agree with you. I mean, I don't think that you should be with any man that you don't trust to lead. I don't. I mean, women, and I'm going to have to fuss about women for 1 second. If you are finding yourself in a position where you're constantly talking about a man ain't worth nothing, they ain't this, they not that, you've got to do a self-assessment to figure out what it is exactly you are doing to attract these weak men.
Yep.
Because I can tell you that has not been my
Yeah, I think that's a big issue. I think
Yeah.
some women have gotten to the issue. They've been so independent so long, they don't even know how to let a man take the lead when they meet him. They're too busy in the mode of control, and that's where the problem comes in. So I mean, Head Sanford,
Yeah,
what say you?
but a lot of women do think being an alpha female is doing all that yelling and taking control and
Yeah, being loud.
being loud, yeah, dominating a guy. They think that is what an alpha female is. So
no love, no baby. That's not what an alpha female is. That's not.
Well,
That's a dominant.
I would
female.
agree. If you're an independent woman and you're single, yeah, you have to be the alpha. You got to be able to do you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to look out for you. You got to have you, and ain't nobody else got you. But sometimes when a man come in your life, and he's got the and see, let me make a caveat to this. When an alpha male comes in and he really likes a woman, he's gonna let her have some level of control over the relationship. People don't understand that. But a man's gonna let her have some level of control because he's doing two things. One, he's trying to weed out if she's that type of woman that's gonna appreciate a good man. Number two, he's gonna also try to have a little level of control because he wants to get in. You see what I'm saying? I don't think, it's funny to me. So many women think they like strong men. They like strong men until you're strong with them. And when you're strong with them, that's when the head bumping comes through. That's when the button of the head. My dad don't talk to me like that. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. My dad don't know. Okay, well, hold on. So either you want a strong man, but here's my point. Let another man punk your man in front of you. Okay?
Wait, what?
Then you have no more respect for him. Right?
So I think that how you speak to a woman says more about you than it does about her. You can lead and be respectful at the same time. I don't think that it takes yelling and dissension in order to lead a woman. If I just called out women, so I'll turn around and call it back to men, knock it back to them. If you can't get a woman's attention or get her to follow your lead without yelling and jumping up and down, then that says a whole lot more about you than it says about her.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to
In
yell.
450 feet, the destination is on your right. 729 Hall Street.
So when we talk about that and all this whole foolishness that goes on about what people can do and what people cannot do, we agree that some of the biggest problems with everything that goes on is just that the fact of some women just don't appreciate a good man. What's going on with that?
They don't.
The destination is on your right. 729 Hall Street. Arrived.
So what's a good man to me may not be a good man to the next man. I can tell you for sure that I would say my ex-husband was a very good man for somebody. He wasn't a good man for me.
So what you do to
When
them?
you're talking about relationships and you're saying this person is good, that person is good, he's not any good, he's low down, whatever the case may be, I think that the problem is people try to be in relationships with somebody and they try to mold them into what they want them to be instead of allowing people to be who they are authentically. I don't want to have to change to accommodate your insecurity. I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is find somebody who can take me as I am, as opposed to me trying to do somersaults and backflips to figure out how to be what it is you want. And women have a tendency at times to try to build a business. They see a little bit of hope somewhere in them, and they feel like, okay, I can get it. I I can change him. I can make him be what I want him to be without appreciating who he is right now. And instead of saying, okay, deuces, I'm a pass. I'm not going to dog you out to the next chick because what you are may be perfect for somebody else. You just not perfect for me. There's not any 10. I'm not a 10. Nobody is a 10.
I'm a 10.
You got to figure out who's that 6.57 and round that up to a 10 and be happy with that as opposed to you thinking, I mean, you can think that you're all that if you want to. There's another one better somewhere. So find the person that's going to respect and appreciate you the way that you are instead of trying to have a Build-A-Bear project where you're trying to make somebody be something that they're not, nor do they want to be.
Well, I disagree on that statement. There are 10s in the world. I'm one of them.
Who's the 10? You the 10.
It's Kojo Chestnut. You've obviously never seen the most beautiful man in radio before. But like I say, they're like I said, I'm a 10 to most, but probably not to all. And that's how you have to do when you date. You have to find somebody that's a 10 to you, because my 10 might be a 5, because you ain't really got to be all that cute to be with me. And, that's okay. Django, what you doing?
Well,
Be
Django,
still.
you awfully quiet. What
Over
no,
there.
look here, I'm working and at the same time. But yeah, you have to tell the person you with. Look here, woman, you're an astronaut. You're chilling with the star. One thing that attracts people to other people is confidence. Now, of course, you can't have Flavor Flav confidence. But my thing about it is, how you think I get my goats? I mean, you gotta have confidence, and women attract to confidence. Alpha females attract to alpha men because they have confidence. Head up, shoulders not slumped over. Look up. Look a woman in the eye when you talk to her. Women detect by body signals when you first come in the room whether or not you're confident about yourself, or if you're shy, or if you're not used to talking to women, or you're demure, or whatever. And when they feed off it, they're like, okay, this dude obviously is a beta. So since he a beta, we gonna play it for a beta. And my issue with that has always been with women who want to be alphas. I think once you get into a relationship and this guy is somebody that's worth spending 5 minutes of your time with, you need to go from the alpha female down to the beta female and let that man lead. And so many relationships fail. So many of them fail because you got people that don't want to relinquish that alpha thing. And look, just because a man is an alpha, he's an alpha male, doesn't mean that a certain aspect he cannot switch down to a beta male when the time is needed. Sometimes, you're right. Sometimes it's better to be quiet than to sit around and keep arguing with your woman. Sometimes sometimes you have to, say, okay, man, you got to, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong. Just like, look, it ain't even worth the hassle to argue with you. Some women, they so alpha, they don't even know how to shut up and be wrong for a change. So, let them have it. I'd rather be quiet and have peace than have to sit down and argue with you on something you're just not going to listen to.
Well, I mean, the same could be said for a man. Now, I will not argue. That's just not something I'm gonna do. I feel like it's beneath me, honestly. I don't argue with people because
so we're not even worth arguing with.
So you're entitled to your opinion on something, and so it's no point in me trying to convince you otherwise.
So that means.
But I don't think that in my relationship I have to become a beta woman in order for my alpha male to be able to lead. Okay. I think that I can continue to be an alpha woman, and the right alpha man still knows how to lead an alpha woman.
Okay,
you can't have two kings in a castle, but you can have a king and a queen.
So Mia, answer me this.
Yeah.
Answer me this. So you say you never argue because it's not worth your time. So that means that you always right, huh?
No.
The plot thickens.
I'm just saying. You just said you was just dismissive. Say, I want to argue. Nah, I want to argue. I want to hear it because I ain't gonna try to convince you anyway because I'm right.
Black and white. I think that most things are subjective. So you have an opinion on something. It doesn't mean your opinion is correct, nor does it mean my opinion is correct. It's just the way that I feel about it.
And you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear my opinion, huh?
Oh.
I'm just not going to argue about your opinion because it's your opinion.
Okay, Mia, you one of them women.
Yeah, you kind of see it, don't you? Miss Woke.
Yeah, if I say the cloud is...
You might be, one of those men.
Well, I'm
Oh,
all.
oh, wait a minute, hold on. What are those men, young lady? Ma'am, what are those men?
Well, tell me, what are those women?
Women
Tell
like
me.
you,
Somebody said,
women that are
William said
always right.
communication. Elliot said a wise alpha male will listen to the heart of his woman. He will recognize that she's there to compliment and not compete. I could not agree more, Elliot.
Right.
Did y'all get that?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Really?
Ooh, okay, Cletus. Okay, don't hurt me. I'm I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that you have some people what I call a placated folk, and placated
Okay.
folk are dangerous because those are the people you can't tell nothing to. Now, I'm not
Oh
saying
yeah,
that's who
they
you are.
suck.
I'm just saying you have to watch out for people like that because here's my
Oh,
issue. You have to we talk about, well, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to do this. Okay, first thing I don't want to do is I don't want to date a woman who's a customer service agent. You know how customer service agents are? It's always not necessarily that they understand why you're upset. It's I'm sorry you feel that way. Because when you say you're sorry I feel that way, you're patronizing me. That's what I call a customer service apology.
right.
Because
Right.
basically, what you're saying is that you don't care why I'm upset, but you're you're trying to empathize with the reason I feel that way. That's just like saying, "Oh, boo, I saw you out here with this dude. You know I'm pissed off. I thought we were supposed to be a couple, but you sit out here having drinks with this dude. Well, that's not what it is, and I'm sorry you feel that way." I'm sorry you feel that way. What the hell does that mean exactly? Do you understand why I'm upset, or are you just trying to make me feel patronized why I'm upset? So here's my point. When a person said they don't like to argue, or I've heard some people say, "Oh, I don't do that back and forth." That's fine. You don't have to do the back and forth, but you need to understand why I'm pissed off and understand it. When a person does not try to understand why you're upset with them, first of all, that's a match that's not going to work. Because a person that genuinely cares about you and is not self-centered and selfish is going to be upset with themselves when they feel that they've upset you. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
especially when they feel
I
that they've
see
genuinely
exactly
hurt
what
you.
you're saying,
If a person don't really care about you, no, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh, really? Okay. Tell you what, you can't drop your your alpha female for a minute to even be empathetic to what is bothering me. So at that point, we have an issue right there.
But
Okay, I've never. Well, first of all, I've hardly Django. He don't apologize. But if I do apologize, I give a genuine apology. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that becomes dangerous with especially our sisters because it makes it where they're going to have a hard time having good relationships with that mentality.
I didn't say that you should say, "I'm sorry you feel that way," because I don't do that. I found that to be very patronizing as well. So I don't like that. So what I'm telling you is, I will listen to what you have to say. But if it is based on emotion and not fact, feelings and not logic or reason, I'm not going to debate you on how you feel about something. How you feel is how you feel. If it's something that's based in fact or reason, then you have an opinion and I have an opinion. But there's a right answer to anything that's factual.
So
That's
forget your feelings, huh?
why would I? Okay, let me take a step back. There was a Facebook post that somebody in my family put up, and the post said, "Do you feel like God should be allowed in school? Do you feel like God should be allowed back in school?" Okay. My response was, if God is powerful, why would he ever have an invitation come into anywhere? Okay? If God is powerful,
Right.
why does he need an invitation into the church? Everybody came for me for that. The people don't let folks let God in church anymore. The devil is busy. This, that, and the other. But what they don't realize is they're not hearing themselves when they say, should God, all-powerful God, be allowed somewhere? Okay? So, to me, why would I argue with that? Because what I immediately did was digress. Because you know what? We're not talking reasonable at this point. We're talking about your feelings. And so I'm not going to argue with you about your feelings. Because the fact is, if God is powerful, he doesn't need an invitation. That's what I'm saying.
But
Well, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
Somebody that's subjective.
But you know what they
and
meant, though.
Everything they're talking
Right.
about is based on their feelings. You can't argue that. It's not steeped in fact.
Yeah, Mia, you lucky you're not here, Mia. You lucky you're not here. Because I would get you. But that's okay. I'll get you next time.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, love.
You can hear me?
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Uh-huh. See, isn't that typical? Now she can't hear me.
Boy, please. Why don't you speak up instead of
Yeah.
You must be that beta male.
Yeah.
So I can hear you.
Oh, she throwing shade on you, bro.
That's okay.
Come on.
You gonna
Jab back, bro. Jab back. Represent for the brothers. What you doing? Come on, cuzzo. Do that.
That's all right.
Mia, no, she just up here. She up here on Facebook, just running around starting all sorts of firestorms all over the place like she ain't got no sense. But that's okay. But you know, that's why I think when we talk about this again on this type of level, when we talk about, hey Sandra, hey Kev, I'm out here on location. Everybody hitting me. I'm on Facebook Live now. Everybody trying to hit me on it. I'm out here on location in Burnsboro, Arkansas, trying to have this show. So excuse me if y'all don't see me in my normal setting there. So you're right. When we're talking about it in an alpha beta female context, so how do women know? Mia, let me ask you a question, and then I'm gonna ask you the same thing here, Sanford and Cudjoe. How do women know when she's got an alpha male? Yeah.
Okay, so let me see how I can. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see.
I'm waiting on this.
Yeah. Tell us, brothers, we want to know.
Yeah, I'm waiting on this.
I'm trying to think of my relationship. How did I know he was an alpha male? I think he walked and spoke with a level of authority that I trusted. I think he did exactly what you said, Django. He looked me in my face. He looked me in my eyes. He never made me feel like he was on another level than me. He snapped to attention. You know, he.
Are you like, let me chew on your butt? That's what he did? No, what did he do? What did he say?
What did he say?
Women like, huh?
None of your business. I'm not telling. He said the right thing.
Oh.
Obviously. But,
He said the right thing.
I think, well, for one, he's very intelligent.
Right.
And he's very ambitious and driven. And I think that a person like me is drawn to that type of person, that ambitious, driven, go get it, hustling type of person.
Intellectual men go a very long way. Intellectual men go a very long way.
Exactly. Now, and I'm not talking about just book smart. I'm talking about street smart. Like, he got it together. But I trusted him. And that's the big thing. You know, if you trust somebody, if you trust what they say, if they have demonstrated to you that they do what they say what they mean what they say, you fall in line because you trust them to lead you somewhere. If you are dealing with the kind of guy that can't even make a decision on where you're going to go eat or what his vision is for his future, what the plan is 3-5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, if they can't even articulate that, I don't know why you, as an alpha woman, would want to be somebody who hadn't even thought past tomorrow for their own life. I think that's what helped me recognize that he was an alpha male when I met him.
Okay, stable employment. Looks like he has a career about himself. He has goals. Not only just short-term goals, but long-term goals, stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's an entrepreneur.
Right.
What's his name?
So that was attractive to me, you know.
Now, he ain't a Chippendales or nothing, is he? Because, you know, people say them.
He could.
Hey, what's his name?
I ain't putting my business all out in the street. No,
Yeah, we ain't gonna mention his name. I know I ain't gonna mention his name. I ain't gonna mention his name for him. I ain't gonna put on blast.
The point is, I knew
The point.
when I met. That's the point. That's the main thing. And my ex-husband, I would say he was an alpha male. Same thing. I've never been attracted to weak men. I just haven't.
Okay.
Haven't encountered.
So hold on, Miss Woke, hold on. So okay, so your ex-husband was a alpha male. Okay, so
Yep.
let's go here. Then what the problem was? You said you're not attracted. So what was the problem, boo?
The problem was what we wanted wasn't the same thing.
Oh, okay. Now, I mean, I wasn't trying to be in your business, but you understand what I'm saying. It should have worked out if that's the kind of man that you had, right?
No, not necessarily. That's stupid.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Well, I mean, to think that just because I would want an alpha male and he was an alpha male, it would work out just because he was an alpha male, that doesn't make sense at all.
No. Well, all I'm saying is that you guys should have those personality types. That means that y'all should work through those problems if that's the type that you're attracted to. I'm like you. I don't like beta feed. I don't like. Let me put it like this. I like a woman that knows how to mix the difference between an alpha and a beta female. Do you understand what I'm saying? I like a woman who's strong, who's sure of herself, has goals, this, that, and the other. But then I also appreciate a woman, and I'm sure my male co-hosts will agree with me, that know when to step back. You understand what I'm saying? And let the man lead and be like, look, I ain't going to argue with you. Hey, baby, you know what? It's blue out there today. The sky is blue. No, it ain't. It look gray to me. But baby, you don't see the sun and the crowd. No, my perspective is, and you're not going to change my mind, is that it's great. Okay, my thing about it is some people just like to argue for the sake of being. They're called what I call contrarians. That's what they're called, contrarians. They be contrary for the sake of being contrary, and that's where butting heads in relationship comes. So I like an alpha female that knows she's confident in herself. She knows what she wants in a relationship. She knows what type of man she wants. And when she gets that man, she sits her butt back and lets him lead. Because if she knows that she got an alpha male, she's not going to worry about where I'm going to lead her. Only place she's going to have some questions about when I lead her to that bedroom, because there going to be some strange things going on out there, Woman. You hear what I'm saying? So they're like, what were you doing tonight? Wait a minute. What's up with the whip? What's up with them shackles and stuff, baby? You just trust me. I'm the alpha male. I got this. So my thing about it is, Joe, you talk to her. You head seven, help me out here. Go on, educate the young lady there, fellas.
Are you talking about a male dealing with an alpha female? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. In other words, how do we pick our women? In other words, what type of woman you prefer? Do you like a beta female? In other words, because we're going to talk about this next week. Do you like a beta female that basically lets you pay all the bills and just sits at home and lets you take care of things and submits to your lead? Or do you want a woman that kind of like, hey, don't worry, boo, this is teamwork makes the dream work. I got you on this. What type of female do y'all attract to?
Yeah, I say a strong alpha female that's intelligent. I mean, I can still lead and pay the bills and do all that, but she has to be intelligent. She has to understand what, I got going on. I don't like a woman that I have to, that's missing a few screws upstairs.
I gotta explain to her what I got. What the hell? I'm like I'm talking to my mama. No, you know what I got going on. Yeah. Recognize.
Right. So I like those type of women too. That's got their own thing going on. I can match whatever they have, or add to that, so.
Right. And same thing with you, Cudjo. Hold on, let me get Cudjo in here. Is he still sober?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Talk to the brother, but you're both of y'all married. So tell them what kind of female y'all like.
Well, I just like a well-endowed woman with.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You asked me a question. Well-endowed woman with a brain.
We talked all of that, and the only thing you could come up with was well-endowed. Well, okay.
That's the first. That's the first thing you see. I can't see how smart you are, but I can see how you look in them jeans. And then after I see them jeans, what's your question, Mia? You gonna listen to my answer?
I will listen to your answer because I really want to know. Do you all believe that in relationships, people truly believe they can be honest with whoever they're in a relationship with, and that person would be open to their honesty? Or do you believe that whether it's an alpha or beta female, do you believe that at times people are like the movie, they can't handle the truth?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like that all the time.
Well, I think you can be honest, but it's just the way you say things. You got to
Yeah.
watch the way you say certain things, because if you come too critical, and too harsh up front, now that can turn the person off.
It basically turns everything else the person says off.
Right.
And look, I dealt with one time, well, I'm an alpha, and I'd say what's on my mind. Okay, you can say what's on your mind. And trust me, I can say what's on my mind in a way that's so nice, but I cut you right to the heart. My thing about it is it's all about presentation. It's just like a restaurant. They say three things: location, location, location. It's the same thing with being in a relationship. It's presentation, presentation. You can say something and mean it to actually tell somebody something that bothers you, and not in a nasty, in a diplomatic way. And the way you say it will turn them off to anything else you're trying to tell them. So now you can't even get what bothers you out, because now you done turned them off. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I do. I understand
right.
exactly what you're saying. My
Right.
question, though, is not just like the things that go on daily in your house. I mean, if you are starting a relationship, do you feel like you can be honest in terms of what relationship model you want, what you need in a relationship, what you believe, what your values are? Do you think you can really be completely honest and authentic? And this is for women too. Do you think you can be completely authentic and honest in what it is you want without, turning off whoever that potential person is? And on a side note to that, in addition to that, if you can't be honest and say who you are, what you want, what type of relationship model you want, should you even continue to be in a relationship with somebody who wouldn't want who you really are?
Right.
Right? Yeah, you can be honest. You can be honest about everything, and
Okay.
yeah, and if they can't accept who you are and you can't accept them, nope. So don't do the relationship.
Okay. What you think, Joe?
Unknown caller.
Who always calling you during the show? That's what I want to know. They don't know you on the show.
It's probably Jen.
Calling me doing the radio show. I talk to them, right? So I'm up here on Skype. What you think happening? Black folk. Now I got to go up here and whoop somebody because I know who this is. Now I got to go whoop them as soon as the show over with. So I tell you what, this has been an interesting topic. I think it's time for us to go do some trending. Y'all want to go ahead and do some trending, because we got to talk about. There's been a lot going on. I'm getting ready to start selling impeachment of President Trump seats at about $50. Wait a minute, Mia. Hold on, Mia. What did you tell me the other week about what wasn't going to happen? You did say something, right?
I told you they are not gonna impeach him.
You sure about
That's
that?
what I said.
You sure about that?
I did. I stand
You
by
sure
my
about that?
statement. They're not gonna impeach him. Okay, I hear
You sure about that? Okay, well we're gonna hold on that bit, because every day is getting more and more Watergate. So we're gonna hold on to that, and we just had a new bombshell came out, of course, about Russian meetings and golden showers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take us a break. We're gonna come back with the trending, because we got another shooting of a black person in the news. So we're gonna take a quick break, y'all, and we will be back. Uno momento, Devil's Advocate.
Child support, traffic tickets, criminal matters, family, wills, estates, and probate matters? Call Jimmy C. Morris of the Morris Law Firm here in Little Rock, Arkansas, an aggressive powerhouse attorney that will fight for you. Call him 7 days a week from Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And from Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., weekend appointments are also available. And also, check out Jimmy Morris on The Devil's Advocate once a month for our infamous Ask the Attorney segment as he talks about social, political, and legal issues. Check him out, and his dedicated staff of professionals will fight for justice for you. Again, that's the Jimmy C. Morris Law Firm. His number is 501-319-7647. That's the Jimmy C. Morris Law Firm. His number is 501-319-7647. Call him.
Birthday parties, family reunions, or even a romantic dinner for two. Black Swan Catering can handle it all. Try our mouth-watering brisket, savory
Hello.
You're hot.
Okay, I'm hot. I wanted to just hung all up on me, man, but that's all right. We good. I forgive Dave. Because, Dave, I want you to chime in on this. You know, we gone into trending. And, of course, the angry black man is holding it down on the wheels of Steel Force. I forgot to say a shout-out to you there, bro, from Black Focus Radio. As you know, and you guys may know, there was somebody that we had another stand your ground shooting again about a week ago in Florida. And this also became a hot topic in our room because point blank, this is where the issue became. And I'm sorry, black folks, I love my people, but I can't ride with you on this. There was an incident that happened at a convenience store in Clearwater, Florida. White guy that came, and he had a history of harassing minorities that came up to this convenience store using racial epithets and stuff like that. So, I black people. I'm sorry, black folks. Yeah, we need to stop doing this. Stop parking in handicap spaces when you know you don't do it. Trust me, with all the chicken and pork chops we eating, we can walk a couple of extra feet into the store. Okay, so it ain't no need for us to be sitting around here pulling up in the handicap parking space just because it's closer to the door. You can park over a couple of extra spaces and walk to the store. So, notwithstanding with that, this young lady parks into the handicap, and her boyfriend walks into the store. So, of course, Ricky Ranger decides that for whatever his reason is, he's going to go ahead and go over to this woman and harass her about parking in a handicap spot. So I guess her boyfriend at the time comes out the store and sees this dude, screwing with his girlfriend, and he comes and he basically tells her, "Hey man, get away from my girl." The guy pulls a gun. The black guy backs away when he sees the gun. And then he turned around to run, and then he shoots him supposedly in the back. He shot him, I believe, one time, and then shot him in the back as he was attempting to flee backwards. So the Clearwater, Florida police said, "Oh, well, we're not going to charge him. This is clear, stand your ground." Okay? So we wanted to know how people are feeling about this because, again, this looks like a Trayvon Martin redone and how we're feeling. And, again, another black person has lost their lives in an altercation. Now, my issue with this whole thing is that we had some black people saying, well, the black guy brought it on himself because he pushed the guy down. And in the Florida stand your ground argument, it is clear. It is clear that, they say that you can stand your ground. So in the face of a threat. Now, the question becomes, and it says that you can use lethal force in the face of a threat. The question becomes, is what this guy did, was that pushing him down, was that enough to justify shooting him, especially when he backed away? So I'm an advocate. I'm gonna let you guys have it. Talk to me. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what's going on.
Well, first of all, that's where he made the mistake. I mean, I didn't see the guy actually touching his girlfriend. I just saw him arguing. So you got to go back to that point. Was he justified in pushing the guy down for arguing with his girlfriend? So let's go all the way back to the beginning. You know,
Right.
a lot of people ignore it. They have ignored the fact that he pushed the man down and just went up to, just went all the way to he shouldn't have been shot. He shouldn't have been shot. He shouldn't have been shot. They just won't address that part of what he played in.
No, I'm not. No, I think it's clear that the guy did come at him in an aggressive posture. That's not I don't think that's the argument. I think the argument is who initiated the beef. And that's where the problem becomes. Right. Because here's the issue I have with this. If I'm walking around here with a concealed 45, okay, if I want to sit around here and play Ricky Rocket, Rent-A-Cop, I can sit around here, trust and believe, and even a cop will tell you, any cop on the beat will tell you, people probably break 100 ordinances and laws a day. Jaywalking, parking in handicapped spots, I mean, just little minor crap that's on the books is, these are what they call statutory offenses. But the problem with it is that if I know that I can come up and harass somebody, and I know that I have the law backing me behind me because I have a gun, and if that person comes up in my face, because here's my point. Head Sanford, I know you, right? What if I come up off the street and give you a prime example? I come over your street, I see you smoking, I slap that cigarette out your hand like Tyrone. Smoking bad for you. Put your cigarette down. So you're going to look at me like, Negro, who the hell is you? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So my question is, if you come at me at a defensive posture for something that I started, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's not the same thing, though, because I don't see in a video where the guy touched his girlfriend. Because you can say, well, he was standing his ground because he was defending his girlfriend. But we don't see that in that video. That's the problem. We don't see him touching. He just seemed like they just arguing. So I don't see that. I don't see where he's defending the girlfriend from an attack. I mean, because verbal attacking or saying things ain't. That's not against the law.
Nah.
Right.
So.
I'm Harry Sanford. I agree with you. I think that it's always bothered me for black people to lump every shooting into the same bucket.
Okay, I'm sorry. Again, to my black folks calling my phone doing Showtime now. I'm gonna have to do like Big Red from Five Heartbeats. My office hours are from, except on Friday. My issue, Head Sanford, and I'm sorry if I kind of got cut off, is that it's not necessarily about. The question here is not necessarily about whether he approached the gentleman's girlfriend. I think that gentleman was doing what he did if any guy would have came up talking crazy to his girlfriend, because obviously he said something to that girlfriend that made that guy make notice when he walked out that store. So my thing is, he could have been, and like a guy said, this guy's always been around here trying to harass people. Tell me what, and something nasty. He said, hey, our black sisters, our alpha females. Some colonizer come up to them talking crazy, they're going to talk crazy right back to him. So obviously he was starting to mess with her, but let's just be real about it. He initiated the hostility by approaching her with something he had no legal right nor legal duty to do. If he had an issue with her parking in a handicap spot, he should have called the police and let them give her a ticket for parking in a handicap. He had no right to go in there and stick himself into that, insert himself in that situation. Okay. And 911 operators will tell you that all the time. If you think you see somebody breaking any little law, call the police. Don't get involved.
I get that.
Okay. But let's look at this scenario. Say that somebody walked up to you and they start calling you names and all kinds of things, and they didn't even touch you. They just start calling you names, and then you just got so mad you just punched them in the face and fractured most of their face. Who going to jail? The person that started, right? The person that's
doing. I understand it, and I'm not saying that the guy didn't deserve to go to jail for assault. I'm saying that he should not have been shot over that, and they should not have sat around here and not charged this guy, because it was clear that because he had that gun. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think he would have sat around here and started something with that woman if he didn't have that gun on him? I don't think he would have. Because he comes up with that gun with the idea of knowing.
No, because, all of these other white folks is calling the police on people. They don't have a gun, and they be plenty, up in your face.
Right, but that's what they're
Yeah.
doing. They're letting the police handle it. But that's what he should have did. He should have been parking lot Pete. He should have sat around here and called a cop and said, look, there's a black woman, there's one of them dark people sitting around here parking in the handicap. Y'all need to come slap a ticket. The cop would say, look here, man, we got hard-earned killers out here waiting their turn to get picked up. We ain't got time to be sitting around here dealing with no parking lot. So he took it upon himself to be Ricky Ranger and go up here and start fooling with this woman. This guy did not like the fact that he was harassing this woman and took man like Bailey, get the hell away from her. And the problem with that is that he should have been charged. If he did not get charged with murder because clearly it was not premeditated, he should have been charged with manslaughter. He should have. It's just that simple.
But
Yeah.
the
He
problem
should have been
in
manslaughter.
Florida is that law is so nuanced that it paints a really broad stroke of what fear for your life looks like. So
Right.
legally, that's what they did. Now, to me, I felt like since the guy retreated, he had his back turned, he's running away, he should have no longer been a threat in my mind. In my mind, he shouldn't have been a threat. But from what I understand, this transpired over the course of seconds. So I don't know if the guy didn't know what he was running to or running to get or what, and he struck first. I don't know. But again, for me, I think it's important that we always look at things on a case-by-case basis instead of immediately, because, like, I think the guy was Mike Brown, the one that got shot or whatever, choked out, that was fighting that big, he was the big guy that was fighting with the police and got shot.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it. Uh-huh. And Ferguson.
Okay, I may be the only black person in America that didn't feel like Mike Brown got done wrong.
Yeah, I kind of felt
I
that
just-
same way too.
But and here's my point, guys. And this is the point I'm trying to make to y'all. And this is Law School 101. This is why it makes for bad law, because it cannot be equally applied because the requirement, the legal requirement to use deadly force is so broad. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In other words,
Exactly.
since I can communicate, it's just like when cops kill a person, they say, well, all they have to do if they want to get off is just communicate why they felt their lives were in danger. Well, hell, I could sit around and drive my car toward a cop and not intend to hit him, and he could say, well, I felt my life was in danger because the car was coming toward me. That's not a justifiable excuse. So
It's
when
not.
you make a law that is so
It's not.
broad-based, now you see why it's so easy for people to get off with this. This is
Yeah.
bad law, period.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get exactly what you're saying. But my point
Right.
is, you have enough cases where police have shot unarmed black men and black women or people in general without any reasonable, in any reasonable person's mind, without any cause. But when you put
Right.
somebody like Mike Brown in the same conversation as Tamir Rice, it clouds it. And you
Yep.
make people think that in our mind, we can't differentiate between justifiable and not justifiable, just like they think everything is justifiable. We believe everything is unjustifiable, and that's just not true. You can't be that black and white on stuff. You got to realize that there are times when it is justifiable, and there are
Well,
times
hold on.
when it's unjustifiable.
I will
Now,
argue
to
that
me,
it was.
that's
I mean, not to
law.
cut you off.
It's
I will argue that it
unjustifiable.
was justifiable
Most of
if
the
that guy continued to beat on him. Once that guy backed away, he had no right to shoot him. Once that guy backed away from him, that took away the imminent harm. Now he could argue, and most lawyers will argue, that the imminent harm is that he shot him because he had reason to believe that that guy would attack him again. So the imminent harm aspect was still there. But my thing about it is, once that guy backed up and he shot him in the back, then you just lost your argument right there for imminent harm.
I agree.
So
I'm not saying this is the case on this.
Right.
I'm just saying, because I just said when he walked away, he was no longer a threat. But Florida
Right.
should just fall off of the United States, to me, because they continue to get it wrong. They have put 2 black people in jail for standing their ground. In
Right.
prison for
And that's
years,
another
15
reason why
years,
it's bad
25
law, because
years,
it is not
off the
equally
top
as
of my head.
arbitrarily
I can
applied.
think of
And whenever, and it's going to probably
It's
take
that
a Supreme Court challenge to get that law overturned on the books as unconstitutional because it is arbitrarily applied. And once it's arbitrarily applied, it's bad law.
Yeah.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Yeah, we can agree it's a bad law, but I just think
Yeah.
people keep people keep skating around the fact that that was a violent push that man. I mean, he pushed a man all the way on the ground.
But what I would argue here, Sanford, and I feel what you're saying. Trust me, I'm not letting the brother off at all. Even though he's dead, I don't believe in dogging out people who are no longer here. I'm not going to argue that it wasn't a violent push. But my thing about it is, does it warrant executing him simply because that's just like, I see you around the corner, I hit you upside the head, then you walk around the other side of the corner, meet me and hit me upside the head. Once you allow me to walk away, then that's why self-defense is such a big thing. Self-defense has to be met with equal force. That's the first thing, or it's not self-defense. Secondly, once that person is in a duty to retreat, it no longer becomes self-defense.
Yeah.
And the initiator, and here's another thing. If you initiate the situation, and this is why Florida got rid of it, and this is why it's so biased, because my point is you don't have to initiate a fight by putting your hands on a person. All you have to do is initiate the conflict. Okay, so in other words, if you in a bar, okay, and you get up in my face and start arguing with me, you are the initiator. I'm not. It doesn't matter if you never touch me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't touch me. All you have to do is come and harass my person and initiate a conflict. Then self-defense no longer applies to you because you are the initiator. Okay? If I push you out of my face for initiating with me, you can't use self-defense because you're the initiator. And that's why I said stand your ground is bad law. Because basically what it's saying is I can initiate a problem, I can go start a problem, and then I can shoot you if you react to it. And then I know if I shoot you because you acted a fool based on me interacting with you, I'm going to get off.
They try to stand their ground. It just doesn't. It doesn't work if you are a black person in Florida and you say, I'm shooting this person. I felt like I was in danger for my life. I'm standing my ground. You are going to jail.
Right.
It doesn't work for black people.
Right. And let me tell you something. And that's the problem. And even when I saw the thing on Facebook, a lot of white people saying, no, that white boy need to go to jail. Because regardless of whether the black guy pushed him, they understood. They were empathetic, like, no, because he started the whole incident. He should have just left them people alone. If you got an issue with somebody parking in that parking lot, just call the police on them. Or get their license plate and say, hey, this person's parking in a handicap. What did you need to go and start an issue with this woman and then now try to play victim because, it's just like it's a bully. That's what it is. I'm going to bully you, but guess what? I got a gun. So I wish you would say something to me. No, people openly usually despise bullies. They despise them. And real quick, since this is a good political time, let me ask Dave. Dave, how do you feel about it?
Well, I think stand your ground doesn't apply to black people. There have been two cases. One most recently, you remember the sister who was standing her ground when her husband was beating her up. She spent much time in prison before she was finally exonerated. Then, of course, there was a brother who was in the military who did the very same thing, and he ended up going to jail. So it doesn't it doesn't apply to black people. And what black people have got to understand, see, laws like that, you can solve the problem very easily by simply telling your child that don't go to Florida State, don't go to South Florida, don't go to the University of Florida. You can see what I'm pushing right now is teaching black people that you have the power. That's what we talk about on Black Focus. You all are just not using your power. And all of these silly laws, all of these voter suppression laws, all of these these onerous state legislators are passing, all you have to do, if you got a son that's an athlete that is attending one of these state universities, all you have to do is say, you're going to have football flu today, or you're going to have basketball flu today, and these laws would disappear like that. Now, the question that I'm asking on my show today, ironically, is what are you willing to do for your community? Okay?
But look at all the black people that vacation in Florida. He's going to stop vacationing in Miami and Tampa and all that, Orlando.
but see, that's a good point. See, black people are afraid to lose trinkets. They're afraid that someone's going to take their 30 pieces of silver, thinking that they already had it. You get what I'm saying? See, you go on a vacation in Florida, but half of those people don't want you in their businesses. You're still
Right.
spending your money there. They don't want you in their restaurants. They don't want you in their hotels. But you're going to make them take your money. You get that, right? So that's a sickness on our part. At some point, we have to understand that the few gains that we have were done by those in the 60s, right? Although symbolic, we can argue whether they were good or bad, but they were certainly symbolic. But one thing they did for sure is that they worked together. There were 5 different organizations that worked together to bring about those changes in the 60s. Right now, you can't get black folks. You know, I'm asking a question today on the show. I didn't realize that Little Rock didn't have a Little Rock Black Chamber of Commerce. Why? And I found out that the proposal was put out there a few years ago, and black folks didn't want to come together to have an entity that would help promote black businesses in this city. I have seen the enemy, and it is us. And until we realize that, this is going to continue. This country was not built for black people. It was built by black people, but it wasn't built for black people. And until we understand that concept, we're going to continue to suffer.
Agreed.
Right.
Ooh, did he put it out there? Did he put it out there?
Yes, he did.
Mm-mm.
See how I fell in love with that alpha male when he was saying something I could get behind?
Well, I can see the sweat beating up on his head right now. Yeah, I do. It was gonna be a good one. That was gonna be good. And you're right. Look, conceal and carry wasn't made for black folks because one, we were not even expected to carry guns because again, it goes back to the old slavery argument that we will rise up against massa. That's what it was always about. We were not supposed to conceal and carry wasn't made for us. Stand your ground wasn't made for, and a lot of self-defense laws ain't made for us either.
Exactly. Agreed.
Okay.
One other quick point. See, here's the thing that people forget about the Trayvon Martin thing. And by the way, BET is having a special with Trayvon Martin this weekend. You really need to watch it. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to watch it because I'm going to cry because I'm still angry about it. Because see, what people don't realize is that Trayvon Martin was minding his own business when he was when he was assaulted by a vigilante terrorist. That's the bottom line on that. He was murdered. And what happened, that vigilante terrorist was about to get his tail kicked by this 15-year-old boy, and he decided that he would shoot and kill him. That's the bottom line on that, okay? So until black people understand, look, I posted a video of what's going on in St. Louis today. If y'all haven't seen that, about the Arabs kicking the black woman, they've shut that station down. They have not been able to do business for 5 days now. This is what we have to do. Okay, we cannot be sitting around talking pleasantries, and hoping that things change. You have to initiate change. When are you going to get mad? Okay, when are you going to quit talking about it? And see, when you get mad, you start acting out. And I don't mean violence.
You just started preaching up in here this morning.
I don't mean violence. All you got to do is start spending your money where it needs to be spent. And this crap would stop overnight. I'm just saying.
Right.
Woo, he hot. He hot, ladies and gentlemen. He hot. But you know what? As hot as he is, you know what, guys? We got to end our show on that note. I want to thank you, Cudjo Chestnut. You are sober today. I want to thank you for coming in. I want to, of course, thank my man, Head Sanford. Of course, Mia, Miss Woke, Mama Mia. I want to thank you for coming and holding it down for the ladies. Next week, we're going to have a real good one. This is going to be lovely. And, hey, look, no matter what went down, Django, trust me, we are still going to have our cookout on Labor Day weekend. So everything's all good. I'm just going to have to go whoop the guy who I have now found out has my potato chips because I think we have located him. And I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Go and thank you guys for doing it. Again, with us every week here. Now stay tuned for Black Focus with your boy Dynamic Dave because, boy, the man is hostile today. And we want to thank you. We'll see you guys again next week. And don't forget, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of Hell's Kitchen, folks. See you later.
like for your man to stand out from the crowd? Hey,